Hello, this is David Glenn. This is the third video I'm producing on how to do stop motion animation, which I call the making of Miku Polkka. And in this case, it's what we're going to do is we're going to take these frames that are right here, and we're going to put them all together using Premiere Pro. And I already got Premiere Pro started, and I'm just going to go in to get things going right away. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to set up a new project, and I'm going to call it let's call it Miku Polkka S1, since it's going to be the first of the sequence of animations that I'm going to do. I got at least 2 sequences of animation. The rest is going to be basically still life that I'm going to augment, but we'll get into that later. So we'll get this started. And let's see. Right now I got this set for HV 720p at 29 frames per second. It's going to record some sound, but we won't end up using that. That will be taken away when we go to actually go to use this stuff. All we're concerned right now is the animation. So I'm going to call this, keep this thing here says sequence 1. Keep that there. And I'm already set to go. Now the first thing I want to do is to import the various frames, and for the sake of expediency, I'm not going to work with these CR2s, which I have to go in and adjust the shading for each one. For this video, I'm going to stick solely to the MPEGs that were also generated when I took the pictures, and it'll just make things a lot quicker. And I think it'll be adequate for what we're doing, particularly for YouTube. And so I'm going to go in here and I'll hit the Control key, and just I already had the first one selected, and I go next one, next one, next one. There's probably an easier way to do this, but this works for me. Just go through and select all the elements. I also have in here a few elements that I've also are copies of elements over here. This is basically, these are the in the video, Miku swings her arm up and down with a leek in her hand. I took the photographs of her putting the leek down towards the ground, and then I copied, starting with the next to the last one, I started copying backwards and made the arm move up. And we just repeat this over and over again, and when we add the music, we could sync it to the music. And so we got everything chosen here, and I'll just grab and I'll just drag it over here to Premiere Pro. By default, these images make a sequence of video which are 5 seconds long. Now that's way too long for what we need to do, but the first thing I'm going to do when I introduce these into the sequence timeline is I'm just going to worry about getting the sequence of the animation correct, and then I'll worry about how fast these things go when I have them all grouped together. I find out when I group them together, I can change the length of the time much easier in mass than I could individually. I can go down and individually edit all these elements and bring them down to the size that I want, which is going to be 1 frame. The timeline in Premiere Pro, at least by default, is set to a Stimpy code, and the Stimpy codes basically made up of hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. In the end, I'll probably have it replicated to about 10 seconds, which should be enough to play around with. So we go over here and we look very closely at the numbers, and fortunately everything is nice and sorted, which is a good thing, because when I went over and I created the extra frames, I just continued the order of those frames, and as a result I can almost start grabbing from the top, bringing them down, and hopefully, yeah, you can see they've already sequenced themselves. So I didn't really have to do very much here. And play it back. Yeah, you could see her move her lead up and down. And also notice that we're going to have to resize this stuff, and there's a quick way to do this in Premiere Pro. You could just grab the whole kit and caboodle here and right click on the mouse, and you'll have a thing here called scale frame to size. You just hit that, and now everything is in frame. The other thing that we have, and this is how you're going to set the time for this, so it's the correct time. It's 5 seconds right now. We only need 1 frame each. So I grab this, go over to speed and duration, and this brings about what the group duration is for all of these elements. Each one of them is 5 seconds. The thing is set at 5 seconds. You can go over here and just go over and say, okay, I'm going to have 1 frame, and we'll take the 5 and turn it into a 0. One of the nice things is you can quickly key in the thing. Another thing is very important on Ripple Edit. Since we're shrinking the time, you want to make sure that you hit this Ripple Edit shifting trailing clips. This will automatically move the video so every frame is handled. You won't have to do, otherwise you have to do that by hand, and that's a drag. Why do it? It's a drag. Let the machine do the work. And there you go. And we expand this, and you can see we're in a nice, neat image, and this is 1 frame a piece. And we hit the playback. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but she's actually moving her leak, a lot like the way she looked like in the first video that I showed you. Let's see if I can get that to be a little bigger. There. You can see that. And that in itself is a success. But I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to grab some of the elements and copy, and I want to attach them and link them together till I get up to the point. Right now I'm just a little over 1 second, and all right, and I want to make it so it's like 10 seconds eventually. And so what I'll do, bring up the timeline. I might as well stop this. I'll go over and I'll right click on the mouse again, and there's a thing here I like to use called nest. And what it does, it nests all these images together and makes it at least visually appear, and you can handle it, treat it basically as one video, and voila, you're set. The next thing I want to do is grab this nested sequence here, and I'm just going to do a Control-C for copy, or you can go over here and hit right click and go copy, and then I'll go up to here so I get to the end, and then I'll just do a Control-V, and I'll just keep going on doing this until I get near 10 seconds. And that's good. It's about 10 seconds and 20 frames, so that's pretty good. That's good enough for me. I got 10 seconds of Miku waving her leak, and that will be good enough for now. Well, that's about it for now. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.